Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is my CK3 series, Dutch's Legacy. You're watching episode 3. We are continuing our roleplay campaign as Dutch Van Der Linde and his gang of wandering criminals. I want to report that my series so far is doing really well. I'm seeing really good numbers, and you guys seem as enthusiastic as I am. Been great. It's been getting a great reception. Thank you for that, guys. I hope you guys are ready for another one. Today we get to do another criminal contract. We ended up in Paris last episode, and we did like one or two contracts, but we haven't done another criminal contract. We tried one and we failed, and then I was playing it safe for a little while just to make some money and just to get things, like, kind of get things going. I wanted to move my camp, first of all, and I wanted to build our supply tent, which we have now. So, and we have a little bit of money in the bank because we did some contracts, but today I want to do a criminal contract. I want to do this heist. We're going to rob a man of God, Prince Bishop Hinkmar. We're going to rob a treasury, so it's not exactly a bank robbery, but we're robbing a church. So it's like, there were banks in the medieval period, but that's like a later Renaissance kind of phenomenon, banks and stuff, but you get the idea. We're robbing an overly rich religious man, and we need to take his money. So we're going to do that. I think we've saved up enough followers that I think we have enough people to make the heist successful. So we're going to try this out. I did not rename this kid. This is the kid that we got last episode that was raised by wolves. He's still feral, and he's non-verbal, but this is going to go away in 2 years. So this kid is going to become more civilized, and it's going to be interesting to see how he grows up. And I haven't named him because I didn't decide on a name. I couldn't. There was no character in Red Dead Redemption. There was no child that they took in. There was a kid in the camp, but that was Jack Marston. So this is a complete anomaly in like a Red Dead Redemption roleplay. So I didn't name him. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas, but we are going to raise him up, and we're going to see how he turns out. He's Herculean. Maybe he's just going to be a really good and loyal foot soldier in a few years, you know? So we're going to... He won't be able to participate in the heist, though. I think he's too young. He's a child, so he can't participate. But I think we have enough people. Everybody else is named. So I'll leave the kid's name what it is now, unless I get a good idea, maybe from you guys, but we're going to leave it the way he is. Any new followers we'll rename. Let's get this started. No danger along the way. We are going to be so rich, and I'm going to put that money to good use. After we successfully do this, we're going to have a party, which is totally, you know, which is perfect. After a successful job, the gang members usually did celebrate. So after we do this, we're going to have a party, and that's actually going to increase my prestige. I want to start saving up prestige. I need it to do the things that I want to do. Let's maximize the success. I don't care how long it's going to take as long as it's successful. Okay, so since phase length is the lowest priority, let's fill all of these jobs first. Arthur would be a really good scout. Hosea would be a half-decent thug. I'm prioritizing success chance, so we're just going to put the other two. We're going to put husband and wife as the thieves. So that's 85% success chance, and we're starting with 2 advantages, not just 1. But the phases are pretty long. 82 days. We might save up 10 advantages by then, by the time it gets to 85%, so that should be perfect. I'll go on a faster speed. We'll go on 5 speed. Today, Gaucher held a fiery sermon for all of the children of the court. They were... There is no court. Of the camp. They were apparently spellbound as he zealously read from the scriptures. My ward, Godzello... I want to rename him Godzilla, but that's just ridiculous. Now seems certain that he is destined for greatness, claiming that God supports him indiscriminately. He wants to be ambitious. If I let him be ambitious, we won't get along because I'm ambitious too. And I am technically his liege because I'm the camp leader, so I am his liege. If I make him ambitious, his opinion of me is just gonna get really bad. So am I willing to take some stress to give him something else? Zealous would be okay. Zealous is a martial trait. That would give him +2 martial. He is a rowdy kid, so he wants to be like a martial education. Or sadistic. Nope. We're gonna raise this kid the right way. We're gonna start him off well. And then when he comes of age, or when it's time to start educating him, we'll give him an intrigue education. Is that what we're giving him? Maybe I'm not educating him. I don't have the option to educate him. Maybe all we can do is raise him. I think Dutch would take a little bit of stress for a future asset. Each night, one fire becomes the hub of the camp's social activity. People coalescing around my inner circle to wag tongues and trade friendly barbs. Tonight is no exception. Look, all I'm saying, chortles John to the giggling of several other followers, is that poor Arthur Morgan would have beaten that rock in the starting contest if he hadn't had to move camp after a week or two. A chorus of inebriated guffaws breaks out from the easily pleased onlookers, though it seems all to be wearing on Arthur. Alright, so Arthur's getting made fun of. We can turn the tables on John. Whose side would Dutch take? I think Dutch would take Arthur's side. Or I could just soak it all in and reduce stress. That's what I'm gonna do. How are we doing on our... There's heresy in Great Moravia. Our little forest of tents putting itself up every few evenings is something we've gotten very, very good at of late. First one, then another, with people and tools spreading out down the lines to help their neighbors in a model of speed and efficiency. Even Abigail and Arthur Morgan, who aren't generally known for moving in the same circles, are quietly humming along as they aid each other. I don't think that's kind of accurate. I think Abigail and Arthur, like, tolerated each other. Like, she relied on him to save John. A place for everything, and everything is in place. Okay, so they're getting along. That's fine. That makes sense. Though nobody ever dared to dream it, it appears that there has been a breakthrough in Gotzella's development. Once a simple child cradled by none but feral beasts, the boy is at last showing progress. Gotzella speaks in incomplete sentences and plays with the other children his age, as if he had always been one of them. Today, after our usual lessons, he has asked me to be his father. Hey, kid. Relax. Dutch wasn't anybody's father. He was nobody's father. He was a mentor, and he would mentor, but I don't think anybody would go as far to say... You know, Arthur would say, like, he's like a father figure to him, but he's not... They didn't have that kind of relationship. That's what this is. This kid would see me as his dad. I think Dutch would be cold enough to not go as far as to say he was his son, but I think he would be happy that he's progressing. And we'll get some piety. I need piety. He would become my friend, and he would become a member of my house, so, like, I want to be nice to the kid, but I don't think Dutch would necessarily say he's his father. He would want the kid to think he's his dad, but Dutch wouldn't consider him his son, you know? This is all my opinion, guys, so that's my interpretation. Maybe like a godfather, but not like his actual father. I'm trying to sway Hosea, and it's our new Hosea, and it's not working. At some point, I want to build a new building. After this heist is done, that's where I'm going to spend some of my money. I need a few upgrades. I want to get the barber's tent. Is that plague still nearby? Nope, the plague is gone. But it would be nice to have. It would give my camp some passive income, 0.2 gold. It's not a lot, of course, but we could make it better, and at least it's something. Like, if I ever go into debt, maybe just with some time I can get out of debt without having to, like, do a contract necessarily. So I want this barber's tent, and we have to upgrade our pavilion, and we have to upgrade Dutch's tent, and get a new building slot, and then in that slot, I want to build a baggage train, because building the baggage train is going to allow me to, these buildings have, like, sub-upgrades. Like, they have individual upgrades on top of their, like, just upgrading it itself. It has these little other upgrades, and one of the small upgrades for the baggage train is the portable shrine. Am I looking at the supply? Yeah, I'm looking at the supply tent. I would need to build the baggage train. But yeah, it has a mini building that will allow me to convert people, and a couple of my followers are a different faith. Or one of them is, Hosea isn't. And if I convert him, that will improve his opinion, and so I don't have to sway him, because swaying him is proving to be pretty difficult. Only 29% chance of success. Okay, we got our next intrigue perk. We're gonna get one more until we get crime pays, criminal contracts gold, plus 100%. Of those I've chosen to involve in this little contract, Abigail is probably not the absolute most skilled. She's clearly applying herself, determined not to let my efforts go to waste, with the aim of improving her skill in matters of intrigue. Bettering yourself is costly, but helps us all in the end. She would stress out a bit, and she would lose some opinion if I pushed her, but she would get intrigue increase. She already increased... Oh, okay, I see. She already increased her intrigue by 2. I could just push it further, plus 1. Is it worth the 51 stress? I don't want to stress her out. And her opinion would go down. I'm happy that she increased already. Okay, so we'll just continue. I won't push it any further. Oh my goodness, is somebody else killing somebody else? Rounding a little cluster of tents as I leave the supply tent, I come across a gaggle of followers having dinner around a small hearth. Curiously, both Abigail and Hosea are amongst them, neither of whom particularly enjoy one another's company. Before I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating, Hosea mutters something unaudible, only for the whisper to send Abigail into a blind rage. With a flash, a weapon is drawn, and blood is about to be spilled. Another person who wants to kill every Hosea that we bring in just is doomed to die. This is a duel to the death. Abigail and Hosea will immediately duel to the death. Come on. This option is available because you have either Freebooters, Camp Purpose, or Swords for Hire. Hosea is my personal physician. And he's really good at it. She's not doing anything for me. She has no job. You imprison Abigail. Abigail loses 30 opinion for 10 years. I won't be considered a tyrant. Hosea gains opinion. Okay, I think I've decided that I'm gonna choose a side here. I'm gonna take Hosea's side, but we're not gonna allow them to kill each other, but it is gonna piss off Abigail. Abigail crossed the line. I don't want another Hosea to get killed. Arrest Abigail. Does John Marston hate me because of it? I don't think that's it. Forced me to help commit crimes? He didn't like that? Okay, so he wasn't pissed off that we locked up his wife. So what do we do with Abigail? What do we do with you, my dear? It helps that she's intimidated by me. I can get a hook on her and release her. I won't banish her, though. Everybody gets one. I'm going to do the Spider-Man philosophy here. Everybody gets one. This is not like a 3 strikes. This is 2 strikes. You only get 1. So I'm going to get a hook on her. She's ailing right now, but I think that's because, yeah, she was in the dungeon. What dungeon? How do we have a dungeon? Just a cage. Alright, so Abigail, you better not cross the line again. She's still in the positive. Come on, guys. What's with the drama? I'm trying to do a job here, and we lost her as an agent, so I have to reassign her. Get back to work. I'm surrounded. A commoner of Ashkenazi heritage has been accosted in the streets of Ile-de-France over some minor offense. By making a statement in their defense, I could perhaps convince my court visit. I already took your side in this fight. Leave me alone. Dutch is of superior moral fiber. Give me that prestige. Come on, I already took your side, man. Aren't you happy enough? Following a sentry, I enter a dimly lit tent next to my pavilion, where a bedraggled trio of locals awaits me. They look nervous, as though being here were a risk. This guy's ugly as hell. He looks like an alien. One of them stands before, giving me a truly awful bow. Greetings, your lordship. Name's Geldwin. The big lad is Aubrey, and the other is Lothair. We're here to enlist. We're hard workers, at least within our field. And the way we sees it, we could use some help building your... You could use some help building your name and lining your pockets. Alright, let's check them out. Unfortunately, I can't pick and choose. I either take all of them, or I take none of them. He's already a wanted thief. His wanted level is 2. He's pretty well-rounded, I'll give him that, but we probably won't get along. He's not gonna like that I'm deceitful. Like, I mean, nobody likes that I'm deceitful, but we're not gonna get along because he's ambitious, too. This guy would make a nice thug. He's strong. He's got 17 prowess. He's another ambitious guy. Damn. They're all ambitious. They're all gonna hate me. If I bring them in, they'll get a big opinion gain, like, sure, but this will deteriorate over time, so this is just gonna be a temporary situation. Later down the line, they might start scheming against me. He's the most useless of the 3. He's 38. He's 31. He's 23. He's young. He's the most attractive one. He's just muscle man. $37 gold isn't much. It's not like that's enticing, and I'm most likely gonna fail this, so I'll bring him in. The strong guy, he's not the brightest. He's Bill Williamson. He's young, too, so we're gonna have him for a while. He's Bill Williamson. Bill Williamson, he wasn't the smartest one. Everybody picked on him. But you didn't want to mess with him. He was a big guy. He started the fight in Valentine. He was the one that came into the he was the one that came into the saloon swinging. Okay, so Bill Williamson. He's the muscle. This is a better name. Impatient, deceitful. I'm trying to think the member of the gang that he would be. Let's see what their jobs are. Maybe I can decide what to name them based on the job that I give them. Bodyguard is definitely Bill Williamson. Alright, maybe I should have made Bill... maybe I should have made Bill the Stooge. Lothair, the city's club-footed. He's got the lumbago. This guy's uncle. He is the older one. He's 38. This is uncle. Was Uncle gregarious? I don't know about that. And he wasn't really ambitious, but he was club-footed, constantly complaining about his lumbago. He's just uncle. He doesn't get a last name. He is the silly. And... number 3. I refuse to have a Micah in my gang. I refuse to have a Micah. Just out of principle. And this is giving Micah too much credit. He was not shrewd. I was just thinking Micah because me and this guy are not going to get along very well. But he is pretty talented. He's pretty good at what he does. Okay, I'll settle here. I'm gonna make him the Stooge. He's gonna be the Stooge. He's not gonna like it, but too bad. He's gonna be... we'll make him... we'll make him Mr. Pearson. If we find a better Mr. Pearson if we find a better Mr. Pearson, we'll mess around with it. But now we have 3 able bodies. Let's add it to the, it's a little late now, but Mr. Pearson would be a good infiltrator. We're just gonna get one more advantage. I know this is taking a while, guys, but a lot's happening. I was on speed 5, but we just kept getting hit with events and stuff. Perhaps it was foolish of me to choose 2 people who seem to hate each other to act as my aides in this contract. Certainly the constant arguments and petty spite from Hosea and Simon Pearson seem to prove it so. Still, no matter their loathing, they should be able to focus on the job at hand. Keep them separated, it slows down the thing. We're almost done. We don't want to reduce the success chance. It can take longer. Okay, there we go, guys. Here we go. Success. Spot of larceny. Like imps tweaking the nose of St. Matthew, my band and I sneak into the treasury. A lock quietly picked here, a sentry yeah, stabbed there, and suddenly the wealth of reams is unveiled before us. Our sacks are filled. As quickly as could be, and we're gone. Hang the consequences, just hopefully not us. What a rube. So we can settle for what we've got, or we can steal even more. Prince Bishop Hinkmar has up to 183 of lootable gold and accoutrements remaining, which can be stolen in increments of 50. Upon returning, you will always be able to test your intrigue to steal more. Test one of the following at random: martial, prowess, stewardship. The prowess or intrigue, or one of your agents. The aptitude of your master thief or master of spoils, which we don't have. If you fail twice, you will be imprisoned and your earnings forfeit. We're stealing more. We filled our pockets with silver coins stolen straight from Prince Bishop Hinkmar's treasury already, but there's plenty more valuables to be found in his castle. golden candlesticks, elaborate tapestries, finest linen clothing, sacred texts, and more. All the many accoutrements that the good Prince Bishop likely takes for granted, but which to a humble freebooter represents profit. All we need to do is to ransack the man's hearth and home before we are discovered and hightail it out into the night. Yeah, all we need is Hosea to, Hosea to do his thing outside, distract the guy, and in order to get a gold rating for the mission, we have to steal every single thing in the house. We have to steal every single thing, and we have to make sure we're not caught. This reminds me of that mission in Red Dead where we're stealing from the guy. Okay, 90%'s pretty good. We have to do this several times, so let's hope the odds stay at 90%. Slitting the throat of a late rousing sentry, I catch the body and guide it gently, quietly to the floor, in Assassin's Creed style, before kicking it over into the deepest shadow I can. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, no, Splinter Cell, hiding the body in the shadows. Wiping the blood off my blade, I toss over the poor fool's post. Some fancy embroidery here, a little silver there, it all adds up. Death for a good cause. If the rest of the defenders are lucky, they'll be in less auspicious environs, for I suspect there's still valuables to be looted down the hall. Alright, let's do it again. Okay, so we don't need to read this again, it's the same exact thing. 90% again. Oh my god. We have 150 out of the available 183, so we have to do this 2 more times successfully. Oh no, just 1 more time. We got it. And that's everything? By St. Matthew, we've taken literally everything lootable within Prince Bishop Hinkmar's castle, divvied out into one sack or another, and crudely bundled together to make the minimum amount of noise, saving only the most precious of artifacts. The Prince Bishop is in for a very poor morning when he wakes. There's nothing left to do now but leave. Oh my goodness, 183 gold. Now we have 365. 1 for every day of the year. Like shadows in the night we are away. The first roars of alarm and outrage are simply distant echoes by the time they reach our ears. The dull sound of far-off consequences contrasting meagerly against the absolute haul of stolen goods we find sat in our laps, a veritable treasure trove of fencible trophies and precious. Why didn't I get an item? I feel like I should have gotten a trinket or something, you know? I mean, I'll take the gold, I'm not complaining, but you'd think I would have gotten, you know, something. Like, one thing at least. He spent 71 prestige and 193 piety. And he does know about this, so he knows. Completed a criminal contract against me, minus 60, which will increase over time. But it's not like there's a secret out, you know? It's not like we have a secret or something. See? It's just a contract. 365. Okay, so let's get back to camp. You know whose tent is getting upgraded first. Mine. Dutch's tent. Alright, that is worth a celebration. That was so much fun. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do before we have this party, we need to upgrade our tent. It's the biggest expense that I can, like, conceive of me making right now, so I'll just get it out of the way. And then we'll build... Oh, we have to wait for this to build first. And then upgrading this will upgrade and give us another slot. But now we have enough money to have a camp revelry. Hold a small celebration at your camp, funded by gold, but modified by your stocks of provisions. Invitees will include everyone from the camp, plus optionally local rulers. I don't think we're going to invite anybody, but we'll see. Camp parties provide an opportunity to befriend your followers, gain special contracts, and manage stress. I do have stress. I may gain provisions, and we definitely have room for those. I may gain skill points, so this is just good all around. 15 gold is nothing. This is worth a celebration. The gang's all back at camp after a nice successful robbery, and we're gonna celebrate. Let's... John Marston is the lowest. He likes us, but he's lowest. Oh, wait, hold on. What did that X mean next to his name? May not arrive in time. I'm just gonna ignore that. Yeah, I can't bring any rulers or guests of honor. I'm the guest of honor. Dutch is the guest of honor. You need the mobile brewers camp upgrade. Oh, okay. First I need the mess tent to do this one, and then mobile brewers to do this. Okay, so we don't have that yet, but I will do max food. We'll do a lavish spread. The trestle tables veritably groan under the weight of such luxury. 41 gold. Whip out the banjo. You got Javier on the guitar. Come on, man. We need to celebrate. And we're starting at carousing level 2. It starts at level 2. So I'm guaranteed already to gain some provisions and gain some lifestyle experience. If we upgrade it more, maybe I'll get a new contract at level 3. Better recruits from visiting the castle holding. Okay, so we have to do that too. I forgot to visit the castle. I can't do it until we're done. So it appears that we have some support faction contracts, and I'm not really interested in those. The revelry rolls on, but John is clearly feeling somewhat introspective. This truly reminds me of my childhood, he looks around wistfully. So much mischief and revelry. I can recall 100 nights of such roguery right now. He looks at me. How about you? Do you have any tales of when you were a young lad? Okay, so we successfully became his friend. Me and John Marston are friends. Or I can gain some... We're gonna get to crime pays with time. I don't need to get that intrigue experience. It's... I think I'm going to lose this stress at the end of it, so this stress loss isn't necessary either. We'll become John's friend. Look at Hosea dancing around like an idiot. With his huge bald spot. Simon Pearson's sly smile over the rim of his cup bodes poorly, I suspect. Come on then, Dutch. Let's see if your mind is still sharp after all these days on the road. He gestures the cup with a flourish. A riddle, perhaps? Without waiting for me to acquiesce, he begins. I'm a room, but I lack doors and windows. What am I? Mushroom? I don't know. Oh my god! Guys! Okay, I just had a weird moment. I literally did not read the options before I said that. That was my genuine guess, and that is an option. So I guess that means I have to go with this one. I swear, guys, I promise that sounds like I set that up, but I swear I did not set that up. I'm going with mushroom. I am just too smart for this game. I know the answer to all these riddles. He's gonna lose opinion of me if I answer right. Wait, was that the right answer? I don't know. Oh my god, that's gonna look so bad. You guys are gonna totally think I staged that. I swear I did not stage that. Alright, I'm tired of looking at Hosea dancing around like a moron. And then, Arthur Morgan gesticulates wildly as he weaves a story that by now has been quite a long time in the making. He tumbled like a sack of bricks. Hit him right in the head, it did. Arthur Morgan soaks in the acclaim of gathering with a satisfied smile. It was quite a tale of daring do indeed. The assorted companies still seem quite agog, trying to control another story from Arthur. Alright, so Arthur's, you know, life of the party, telling some stories. You gain a makeshift mace artifact. I lose 11 stress. Or I can tell my own story and a reasonable chance of success. The level increases. We're already up to level 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to the next level, but... let's take this stress relief, and then I'll take this artifact, and if it's good enough, I'll give it to somebody. Today, Jean held a... oh. It's the same thing. Okay, he wants to be ambitious again. It's either have him be sadistic or have him be ambitious. It will help. Being sadistic will help with his intrigue and his prowess and his natural dread. This guy, or this kid, is a scary, like, bodyguard in the making. He's not deceitful or vengeful or anything, so I don't think he would backstab me, but he's a pretty violent kid. It's the remnants of his upbringing. So I think it's gonna stress me out, though. If I do ambitious, and Pinion of Leash minus 15, and he's gonna hate me, so his opinion is gonna really suffer if I let him be ambitious. I'm doing this one. I'll take the stress relief. Okay, this is a really well-timed revelry, because now it's over. The fire sputters, its embers now merely glowing where they roared. The revelers likewise begin to drift off towards their sleeping spots. I lost 105 stress. I gained another contract and intrigue lifestyle, and some provisions. So this is the new contract. Rescue a fair subject. One of Count Renaud's fairest courtiers has not returned from an incursion in the woods. A damsel in distress? I'm making enough prestige passively to counteract the loss of prestige that this would give me. The men-at-arms maintenance is useless right now because we don't have those, and we haven't hired mercenaries, but the prowess plus 4 is way more than this. I'm doing this mace. And it actually fits now, because my character has had this mace here, like, since we started, and now it fits, because now he has a mace. We'll give our other sword to one of our knights. I don't trust Arthur Morgan the Cruel with a weapon. Let's give it to Bill Williamson. If he's doing bodyguard duty, he might as well be good at it. So, and it gave him a little bit of help. 1 prowess. Okay, how... Okay, so we can see the progress of our building. Whoops. Sorry, guys. You can see the progress of the building here, so we still have some time to go, so I'm not going to be able to build anything else, so we might want to take another contract. Let's do this one. I have a feeling that we're going to rescue, like a woman, and maybe if she's fair enough, it says a fair subject. I don't even know if it's a woman, but I'm assuming that's what it is. This isn't for money, though. This is for prestige and for piety. And some provisions. I would lose some experience from my gallows bait trait. My marauder would go down. Let me see what his court is like. There's an unmarried woman here. Doesn't impress me. I have a bunch of single guys here. I only have one woman in here. It's a sausage fest. But that lady didn't impress me. I just wanted to check before I check contracts and before I accept contracts. I want to see what I can get out of the guy before I do it, but I'll do it. This is not for money. We do have money, and I want to improve my level of fame because that helps with opinions. So the second we become distinguished, people's opinions will increase by 5. So we did a criminal contract. Let's do something good. Let's make up for our sin with a good deed. Dutch has plenty of money. He's sitting on the money. Now he wants some fame. He wants a reputation. He wants to make a name for himself. A tired Count Renaud approaches the camp with his men. The horses stop right before my tent as I get up to greet them. That damn... It is a woman. That damn woman. I hear the Count mumble. I bid you good morning, Dutch, he says, wiping the sweat off his forehead. It seemed that a most beautiful woman has been lost in the woods, and my courtiers will not stop lamenting until I bring her back. This is a prowess challenge, and plenty of my followers have good prowess, so... Let's do a balanced approach, I guess. I don't know how long the phases are going to be, so maybe... It looked like 48 days to start. Okay, let's go. Bill is the muscle. Arthur is a good lookout. Alright. Uncle would make a good thug. Okay. And let's do John Marston to some more muscle, and Abigail could do this. So 86% success chance, and the phases are only 10 days long. So this is a quick one. John Marston and Jose are getting along. Encourage the friendship. It's a diplomacy challenge. My diplomacy isn't great. Good for them. Because the phases are so short, I'm going to wait until we have 10 advantages. That'll get us 96% success chance. Oh, no. It'll give us 91. The banquet table's extended far. My high throne gleams with rubies and sapphires. Guests from the four corners of the world celebrate my 20 years of blessed reign. Another cup of sweet ambrosia, glorious emperor, supreme arch-steward John asks, offering a splendid goblet. I quaff from it eagerly. Dance for me, fool, I bellow at the disgraced and humbled Adelhard. Such is the fate of those who cross me. Oh, this is my rival. I forgot I had this rival. This is the highborn guy that one of my commenters gave me some advice about. They mentioned that this was an event that I wasn't aware of. This was a highborn guy last episode that we declined to give money to, and as a result of doing that, he became our rival. And for some reason, he's here? Oh, it was just a dream. I see. See, that's what happens when I don't read it completely. For 10 years, stress gain minus 20%. I don't know. Monthly lifestyle experience plus 10%. It's pretty good for 10 years. And this is this stress gain would be compounding my ambitious trait. I'm glad to be free of that life. I think Dutch would... Yeah, I think Dutch would... I mean, while he... You know, while underneath, maybe deep down, he wanted to be, like, a king or whatever, he put off that... He made everybody else feel like he was against that. Like, he didn't want to be a king or anything. But I think deep down he was. I'm just gonna say this one. I'm just gonna say that one. For a second, I thought we were gonna have some kind of opportunity to get rid of our rival. Okay, so we saved this lady. We do not have to part ways. I like her. 70% chance, 77% chance that she joins. And Count Renaud is going to lose some opinion of me. This has already happened. It's all happened. I think I want her. I think I'm going to marry her. She's reasonably young. 27 is not that old, and she has plenty of time to give me kids, and the fact that she's beautiful is going to ensure that she's going to get pregnant sooner. What is she? She's French. A sophisticated French lady who does have an elusive shadow education, 4 stars. Intrigue is her best. So this is a wife that could help me commit crimes. And we can finally start producing children. I'm 27 too. Typically, in like a regular CK3 campaign, I would let myself age a bit. I think 27's a good age. I'm doing it. I'm going to take her in. I'm going to marry her. And she's going to be Molly O'Shea. If she didn't have one or the other of these, if she had the 4-star education in this and wasn't beautiful, I might just pass it up. But because this is a tier 3 congenital trait, guys. I would be a fool to pass this up. She feels honored. She's intimidated by me. High chance of children. We're gonna have little Dutches and running around the camp. Okay, I have to make a policy. If I'm gonna have a family while we're in a gang, because I kind of wanted to roleplay it, it's like wait until he's a little bit older and like Dutch is getting in those years where he wants to start putting down roots. But I think if I wait too long, like I don't want to pass up an opportunity, guys. This is a really good wife. Her personality could be better, but it's not really bad. And I want to make a policy. She is not allowed. Molly never went on jobs. She was never on jobs with the rest. So, maybe in this version, Molly did get involved in some of the heists and some of the criminal contracts. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll compromise with you guys, just because I want to keep this in roleplay. Molly was never on jobs, but she won't help me with criminal contracts. If I ever have intrigue contracts that are above board, things that are legal, like legal intrigue contracts, or any legal contracts, as long as they're legal and she's not in danger of getting caught, she can go on missions as long as they're not criminal missions. Okay, that's what I'm deciding. I'm getting a Molly O'Shea. We're marrying her. I can't do like a grand wedding or anything. I can visit a university. That's interesting. I'm marrying her. Oh, she's my mistress. No, she's my wife. Oh, just her name is mistress. Okay, we don't need that. I think she's going to keep that title. I can't do anything about that, mistress. That's just like, something she gets, I guess. I guess that's like her position. I don't know. Molly. Oh. Shit. We're gonna make her a redhead. No, we're married now, so she would be Molly Van Der Linde. And she's gonna have my last name. Okay, so this is irrelevant. We'll just refer to her as Molly O'Shea if we ever talk about her, but her name is Molly. And we're gonna mess her with her outfit. You can take that cloak off. No, you can keep the cloak. I meant the headwear. Let's give her a little bit of headwear because this is Dutch's wife. She deserves. Molly got all the best things. She was constantly putting on her makeup and, you know, with her little fan, her little Parisian fan, and she had all the. And I think that record player in Dutch's tent, I think that was more for Molly than it was for Dutch. So we need to give her something just to, or maybe instead of headwear, we'll give her like a necklace or something. Because Dutch would take care of her. I would choose this necklace, but it's like glitching on her neck. It's not setting on her properly. I guess I'll give her this. And I think Molly O'Shea had like one ponytail. We'll change her head up. Or we'll change her hairstyle up too. This is my wife, damn it. She's my wife now, so I have to. You know, I think it was a little bit darker for her. I'm gonna go with that. And then her hairstyle. I think she just had one braid. I think she had one long. This gives me Molly vibes. What is that, messy braid? Okay, I might go with that. No, she didn't do that. It wasn't that intense. Single braid. But you can't really see it because it's clipping through her cloak. I'm doing the other one. I know, guys, this is so unnecessary, but I'm trying to roll. That's the whole damn point of this, okay? So, and my wife has to be beautiful. And she literally is beautiful. So she has to represent, she has to show it off. I wish I could give her a fan. I wish there were fans. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I know I could be playing faster, but so we did one criminal contract and we did the other one, right? But we didn't get money from that. We got prestige and piety. We're really close to faithful. We're just about there. And we're pretty close to the next one. We have a bunch of prestige now, so let's visit the... Oh, my tent is upgraded. Which did open another thing. Oh, it's wintertime, which I like. That is such a small touch. Like your camp changes with the seasons. Such a small thing, but I really appreciate. Is that an otter? I want to do the baggage train. Travel speed and provision capacity over the small amount of income. I'm gonna eventually get the barber's tent, but that plague went away, so I don't need it. Baggage tent we're going with. And this is Dutch's new tent, so it got a little fancier, a little bit more room. That is the reward of a successful criminal contract. I think the next criminal one that I'm going to do is this Russell Animals. But let's try to find another legal one first. We're going to go to the tavern. I don't need to recruit anybody now. We've gotten a bunch of recruits. There's no need to overstuff the gang. Because the more people that I stuff in the gang, the more negative relationships that might develop. And, you know, the more people are going to want to kill Hosea. Two Justicar contracts, 2 learning contracts, which we've never done. How's my learning again? 12. Hosea's my smartest, then John Marston's 11, Arthur. I don't know how good this would be. I could probably do one as like a joke. Just to, you know, keep the gang on their toes, you know, test their skill sets. They're not just always criminals all the time. Sometimes they have to do other stuff. Or 2 transport contracts. That's like the least attractive one. I don't want to travel around a lot. I don't want them to take long. I just want them to be quick. Okay, we haven't messed around with learning contracts. I have plenty of prestige. We'll just spend 75 prestige and get them. And let's do one. We're getting close to when we're going to wrap this up. I know time is really flying, but let's do another. Maybe we can do 2 of them, depending on how fast they are. This contract requires you to create a manuscript for the Count of Evro. Or Evro, yeah. Mainly through learning skill challenges, but potentially also challenges in other relevant skills, lifestyle traits, and travel experience. This is the same thing. They're essentially the same kind of mission, but they have different criteria. This contract requires you to transcribe a manuscript through 3 learning skill challenges. This one sounds easier. Let's try this. The pay isn't much. Let's check his court. I want to get used to that. Alright, so there's another lady here. Her personality's okay. Here's a lady. On the older side, and unfortunately, martial women don't really have, like, a niche that they fit, because they can't be knights or anything, you know? There are some jobs, like, I can make them, you know, like bodyguards, you know? Like, the red here indicates what kind of education they need to do the job, like your second. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. I think the color coding is... Yeah, I'm right. The color coding tells you what they're good at. So I have an open bodyguard trait, but you can't make women knights. So there's no women in the court that I want. Let's do this. Let's do a legal contract. I'm interrupted from my stroll near the supply tent by the approach of a nervous stranger, a woman who introduces herself as Aishuna and is clearly alien to Almal as I. She joins my camp and she becomes my friend. Is her husband gonna come with her? I think he will. He's got a low wanted level in Bandit. But they're another religion, and that's another person that I would have to convert, and I would have to convert 2 people. We're okay. My gang's filled up. Be gone, vagabond. Get me the faithful. Yes. We're faithful now. The daylight slowly fades as I sit in Count Herluin's chamber by candlelight, franked frantically copying squiggly lines of ink from one sheet to another. My eyelids start drooping, and I nod off momentarily before I jerk awake. As far as I can tell, this particular passage seems related to wars and their politics, but by God, it is droning on and on. I trace an ink-stained finger along a cat with a tiny human face in the margins. Maybe I should improve the text just a bit, make it more enticing. Let's just stick to the script. If I try to do this, I won't receive any score towards successfully completing. We're here to complete the contract. We're not here to do anything else. Stick to the job, Dutch. Why is this lady here randomly? A few days have passed and I'm making my way. Or is this somebody then? I can't even click on her. She's just a ghost. Whose face, she's just this beautiful woman that we're never going to see the face of because I can't click her. Alright, the current passage, however, is drier than gravel laid out in the sun. My mind starts to drift to other matters. Yeah, see? My mind was drifting to other matters too. And I blink a few times to force myself back to the realm of reality. The gist of the passage seems related to religious studies and their gleanings, which in and of itself isn't entirely stale. I casually observed a handful of sad humans falling off a cliff, scribbling in the margins while I ponder the situation. Okay, we just need to stick to the script. We are not good at this. This is not Dutch's forte. I mean, 11 learning isn't awful. It's not the best, but it's not, like, complete garbage. We're not Bill Williamson. I'm nearing the end of the manuscript, which is going poorly so far. Once again, the scribe of this manuscript is taking the most dreary approach possible to the subject matter. My gaze sticks to the attendant in infinitely more interesting sight until she gives me a suspicious look, prompting me to get back to the text. The passage itself seems related to playing courtiers against each other, which would interest readers had it been less stilted. I consider the best way forward while admiring the marginalia of a contorted horse creature with trees for arms. Wow, he's just in another world. Count Herluin purses his lips as he inspects the manuscript. It is indeed a replica of the original piece. Thank you for your reliable delivery. Alright, I thought this... He was covering his face at the beginning, so I thought we failed. He turns to leave, but stops for a moment to mention, oh, you can pick up your reward at the door. See yourself out. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up after this. As I get up in the early morning, I cannot help letting out a loud, not on top of reading today, guys. I'm so sorry. Stretching, I make my way out of the tent to see that people are already moving about. I notice John heading off with what looks like a makeshift fishing rod. Through all the noise and bustle of the camp. Where are you off to? I ask him. He responds with a nonchalant shrug. It's a nice day for fishing. Me and John can have a bonding moment. I have plenty of room for provision, so I'll take as many as I can. We're going to switch out of this now. We're going to get into diplomacy. Since I have a family now... Confidence would be really nice. I think confidence is a really strong... I tend to like ambitious, and my characters tend to have issues dealing with stress as a result of them being ambitious all the time. So confidence is like a great counter to that, you know? Each friend adds minus 5% stress gain, so I really enjoy family hierarchy and getting confidence. And getting in diplomacy would help with opinions as well. General opinion plus 10. So, this might buy me some more criminal... Like, being able to do some more criminal things and improving my wanted level a little bit. This would help me... This would give me some breathing room, you know? To do diplomacy. I'm considering it. But we got the intrigue perk that I wanted to get to. I'm smiling when I'm reading this. Enables the turn into mystery meat execution. Allowing you to turn prisoners into provisions. That reminds me of, what was it? I'm drawing a blank on what it reminded me of. Okay, we still have something building. We have a decent amount of money in the bank right now. I think we accomplished a lot today. We got married. We committed a really good crime. We robbed a priest. Which one did we rob? It was this one, I think. This isn't the same guy. The guy that we robbed is dead. So the guy that we pissed off as a result of robbing him is now dead, so it's not a problem anymore. The problem just went away. This is a brand new guy. The other guy did not have scaly skin. So that's really cool. Anyway, guys, I don't want to drag this on too much longer. I really hope you guys had fun. We had some fun robbing some religious men. We had some fun getting ourselves a Molly O'Shea. We have a beautiful wife now who could help me with things. Not criminal contracts, but other things. Legal contracts. We have a couple more members. We got ourselves a Mr. Pearson. We got a Bill Williamson. And we got the other guy, too. He's this... We got the other guy, too. We got 3 guys. Uncle. Yeah, that's right, Uncle. Now, we're going to pay attention to this kid's education as we go. I'll have no success in giving him any of these, so... Whatever personality traits he gets, he gets. He's no longer malnourished now. So this is a kid that we are going to turn into one of our minions. He's starting off with a decent intrigue. He's got martial, and he's already got 10 prowess as a 12-year-old. But that's because his Herculean. Alright guys, I'm doing it again. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you enjoyed this one, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. This series is really doing well. I hope the series continues to do well, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy it and continue to watch it. Hopefully my reading gets better and I don't stutter as much, but I really hope you guys are having a good time. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Episode 4 of my series will be coming at you soon. But until then, have a good one, guys.